Stop forcing doors that God is closing. You've been fighting to keep relationships alive that are dying, clinging to opportunities that are fading, begging for what's walking away. You call it perseverance, but it's not perseverance. It's resistance. Resistance to the ending that needs to happen so the beginning can start. You're so afraid of loss that you're holding on to what's already gone. But what if I told you that the door closing in your face isn't rejection, it's redirection? What if God is removing what you keep trying to fix because He's protecting you from what you can't see? I see you. I've watched you send the text one more time to someone who stopped responding. I saw you apply again for the position that already told you no. I was there when you prayed for restoration in a relationship that God was trying to close. You've been exhausting yourself trying to resurrect what God is burying. And every ounce of energy you spend forcing the wrong door open is energy you're not using to walk through the right one.
Amen if you've been fighting to keep something that's trying to leave. There's a story in the Bible about the Israelites leaving Egypt. For 400 years they were slaves, oppressed, beaten, stuck. But God heard their cries and sent Moses to deliver them. Pharaoh finally released them and they walked out free. But as they journeyed toward the promised land, something shocking happened. They wanted to go back. The wilderness was hard. The uncertainty was uncomfortable. And in their fear, they romanticized their bondage. At least in Egypt we had food, they said. They forgot the chains. They forgot the suffering. They only remembered the familiarity. And they begged Moses to take them back to what God had just freed them from. But here's what you didn't know. God wasn't just leading them out of Egypt. He was leading them into something greater. And going back would have destroyed them. Egypt represented their past, their pain, their limitation. The promised land represented their future, their purpose, their freedom. But they couldn't have both. They had to let Egypt die so the promise could live. And every time they looked back, they delayed their arrival. This is where most people miss it. They think closure means something went wrong, but sometimes closure means something went right. God closes doors to protect you from settling. He removes people to make room for the right ones. He ends chapters so new ones can begin. And when you fight to reopen what He's closing, you're not showing faith, you're showing fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of starting over. Fear that nothing better is coming. Comment 777 if you're ready to stop fighting closed doors. So let me ask you, what are you trying to fix that God is trying to remove? What relationship are you begging to restore that He's trying to close? What job, what city, what season are you clinging to that He's trying to graduate you from? The Israelites wanted to go back to Egypt, but God said no, not because He was cruel, but because He was protecting their destiny. And the same God who freed them from bondage was not going to let them return to it, even if they begged. Within the next 60 days, something you've been holding on to is going to be removed. Not through your choice, through circumstances beyond your control. And in that moment, you'll have a decision. Fight it and stay stuck, or release it and move forward. This is your Red Sea moment. The door behind you is closing. The door ahead of you is opening, but you can't walk through the new one while you're still trying to pry open the old one. Here's your action. In the next 72 hours, write down one thing you've been trying to fix that keeps breaking. A relationship, a plan, a dream that no longer fits. Then, beside it, Write this: if God is closing this, I release it. Read it every day for the next 60 days, because releasing isn't giving up, it's letting go, so God can give you what He's been holding for you. The promised land was always better than Egypt, but the Israelites couldn't see it because they were too busy looking back.
God didn't deliver the Israelites from Egypt just to leave them in the wilderness. He delivered them to bring them into abundance. But they had to stop romanticizing the past and trust the future. They had to stop fighting for what was behind them and start walking toward what was ahead. And so do you. The door that's closing isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of the better one. But you'll never know that if you spend the rest of your life trying to go back. Type Amen to activate this word over your life. You think the closed door means you failed, but it doesn't. It means you're being redirected. The job that didn't work out was protecting you from a toxic environment. The relationship that ended was saving you from a future of heartbreak. The opportunity that fell through was making space for the one that actually fits. God isn't taking things away to punish you. He's removing them to position you. And every closed door is a signpost pointing you toward the open one. Stop fixing what God is removing. Stop begging to go back to Egypt when He's leading you to the promised land. Stop trying to resurrect what He's burying. The wilderness is temporary. The discomfort is necessary. And the unknown is where miracles happen. The Israelites who refused to trust ended up dying in the wilderness, never seeing the promise. But the ones who released Egypt and embraced the journey, they walked into a land flowing with milk and honey. They got the abundance. They got the breakthrough. They got the promise. And so will you if you stop fighting the closed door and start trusting the God who's opening the right one. The next 60 days will test your trust. Will you hold on to what's leaving, or will you release it and step forward? God is removing what you keep trying to fix, not to hurt you, to heal you, not to limit you, to liberate you. Stop forcing doors. Start trusting the process. The promised land is closer than you think, but you'll never get there if you keep trying to go back to Egypt. Let it close. Walk forward. Your breakthrough is on the other side of your release.